Hello, hello, all. Thank you for joining us again on the Almost Brothers podcast. Hey, will you do us a favor? If this podcast has meant something to you and encouraged you, will you consider becoming a monthly supporter? You could do $3, $5, $8, or $10 a month. What this does is this helps financially support the podcast so that we can continue to put out content and help better serve you. So if you would, down in the show notes, you can click the link, support, and become a monthly member. We love you. New episode coming your way.
Like, I don't know what I was thinking, just shoving the whole muffin in my mouth with like no milk or anything.
They're not muffin bites. It was a full.
It was a full like
muffin.
Good muffin. It was good though.
I'm glad you like it.
It was just two bites down. It was like, I need milk.
You didn't think that through.
I didn't at all. It was delicious, but I maybe almost died just now.
The life before your eyes moment.
Like, if I'm going to go, this is how I'm going to go. I'm going to be just fine with it.
Eating a muffin.
Died via blueberry.
It wasn't even blueberry.
Was it not?
No, it was banana chocolate chip.
Oh. Wow. My brain was definitely shut down.
I see that.
Yeah. So what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Almost Brothers podcast. Thank you for joining us again on this latest episode. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about being a generous generation. Let's go. Ah, yes. Now I'm starting to taste the banana. Got to let it linger for a little bit, I think.
Let it sit there.
You got to let it settle. Yeah. It was really good, though. That was, man.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. I respect it. I respect it.
It was nothing special, just like a mix.
That was good. So, Rich, how's it going, man? How you feeling
I'm good.
after the surgery?
I went through that. Yeah, that was terrifying and good all at the same time. But I thank God I'm not having any of those negative side effects that they told me might happen.
Was there a good amount of them?
There's a few that was like, I don't want that.
Have you hit any food that like
that tore me up? No.
Good.
No,
Okay.
Haven't had any of that. So yeah, good Lord
Yeah.
looking out, man.
I know that was the biggest thing you were worried about,
Yeah.
right? Oh,
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yes, the food.
What? I didn't mean
my
any.
main
I was
concern.
serious, man. Come on. What are you like?
Yes, I am the food pastor.
Oh, that's so
that
funny.
is my major concern at any time.
Just sidelining you, man.
Yes.
That's not good. Yeah.
Which tomorrow starts, I'll make it official, podcast official.
Uh-oh.
Starts the diet tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You going low carb?
I'm going no sugar for sure.
Oh, wow.
I don't know about the carbs just yet.
Right. It's tough, man. It really is.
Well, and it's not only the discipline of doing it, but it's the money.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
food's expensive right
Well,
now.
especially now that that's kind of a big thing,
Right.
around.
Right.
So now, people have caught up on it. So I looked at a box of cereal. It was keto cereal and it was like $9 a
Yeah.
box.
Yeah.
It's like, holy cow, man. Like $5, I get,
Right.
you have to do extra stuff. I get it, but $9 a box of cereal.
Yeah.
It's
So
crazy.
again, no sugar for sure. And then we'll kind of cut back on the carbs, just if I can avoid eating a bun or something, I'll do that. But
You can do just like no sugar. You can do like certain days. You can
No
have it.
sugar.
Just none. Oh, Lord help you. Ooh.
well,
keep you
because I'm not that guy that can do,
Right. Yeah.
it's
Just a
either,
little bit.
because I'll do that. Well, I ate that yesterday, so I might as well eat it today.
Right. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry I can't join you on this voyage. I mean, I try to keep it like as low sweets as possible throughout the week, and then like Saturday and Sunday, I kind of, especially when mom makes something, or I could stuff my face with banana chocolate chip muffins.
Nearly die.
I mean, hey,
in the process.
Yeah, life started flashing before my eyes. I see the light, babe. I see the light. I need
Don't
some
go
milk.
towards the line.
I need some milk to wet my whistle.
It's a weird
Yeah,
saying.
it was good though. It was really good. I think I have 2 more left.
You don't now. Jamie's in there
Oh,
with
that's
them.
so true. I know, man. You ain't lying. I might have had to. Past tense. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. We love you, babe. I hope that they're still there. So, yeah, on today's episode, we want to talk about just kind of, especially, of course, we're a ministry minded, podcast, but just kind of in all aspects of life, just wanting to be a generous generation in our giving, and just how we see ourselves doing that. 'Cause, I mean, we're all struggling, like we all,
Right.
we're all just trying to get by, but there's just something about giving that just does something on the inside. And I think that God made us all that way,
Yeah.
to where it just illuminates something on the inside of us.
Right.
We talk all the time, like Christmas is our favorite time of the year, not only for the amazing Mariah Carey Christmas renditions, babe.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I got past
It's-
that. I'm still in counseling dealing with
I think
that.
it's amazing.
Oh my gosh. But also just watching the kids open gifts.
Right.
That is the greatest thing in the world, and you hear it, the cliche all the time. Well, it's just better to give than to get. But you really realize that with your kids when you see them and they open that present that you've been waiting on them to open, and it's just amazing. But I think that especially the younger gen, 50 and younger, I think we've kind of gotten away from that, of being just generous in our givings, and kind of, we're all about the hustle and grind and get yours and make as much as you can. And I think that we've kind of gotten away from that. It's better to give than it is to receive. What do you think, is kind of the root cause of that?
Well, it's because of the fact that we are all struggling. It's you get to a point to where you're just trying to pay your bills, and then once you get to a point to where you can pay your bills and do a little extra stuff, you forget.
Right.
You forget that you were at a place where you didn't have that, and it doesn't have to be major. We get bogged down in I don't have a lot to give. It doesn't matter.
Right.
You see videos all the time of somebody paying for the McDonald's behind them.
Oh, that's
just how much that means to somebody.
Right.
Just $3 or $4 to pay for somebody's coffee behind you.
Yeah.
Unless it's Starbucks and it's $24, but
extra chai latte.
but that's something that's just easy to do.
Right.
And it doesn't even have to be monetary. If you just look at somebody and say, "Hey, you look great today."
Yeah.
You see just anything that you can give someone else to make their day better is worth it.
I know two things. One, I want to ask, have you ever had somebody do that
No.
to you? No. I had it at Walmart.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Yeah. It was just like, because you're kind of not paying attention to the person in front of you, and, you're putting your stuff on the conveyor belt, and she got done and she, walked off, and, I went up and the lady bagged it all up or whatever and did it. And she typed something in, and I was like, okay, I had my money out, and she's just looking at me. She's like, no, it's been paid for. She's like, I guess the woman gave her a certain amount to just pay for as much as can go through or whatever it was. And she said, yeah, the lady said, Merry Christmas.
That's crazy.
It was last year. It was last Christmas, right before Christmas. Yeah. It was the week of Christmas. And it's just wow.
Yeah.
It was just so cool, and yeah, like you said, it meant so much. It was just especially the week of Christmas. It's it was maybe $20 something. But it's wow, man, that's just awesome. That's how we should be. That's, and the second thing I was going to say is I love being around somebody that you'll be around somebody oh man, I love that hoodie. That's so cool. And you got some people that are oh man, you can have it. And, you've talked about it or you like it. Here, I want you to have it. And I've had that happen. It's just wow, that's awesome.
Right.
To be around somebody that's like that. And it's infectious. It makes you want to be like that,
And that's the big thing is once that starts happening, it is infectious. It becomes a trend, you know, and but at the same time, if you're not doing it for the right reasons,
right,
that's a whole nother thing. But it absolutely needs to be something that we routinely do. And it needs to be something that we don't think about, that we just do it.
Second nature.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the problem is we do think about it.
Yeah.
We think, well, I could do that, but I've got this to pay or I've got this to do. So we let it go. And I've never paid for somebody's stuff in line either. And I say it all the time. I would love to do that. And I always, every time I think to do it, I'm like, I really don't have it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's frustrating to be in that position where you want to do more
Right.
and can't.
Right. Well, I know that's where kind of, perfect segue into, I know a lot of people that's where they're at, is where you've got the two sides of the coin. You've got the ones that want to do it, but really, just like really can't. Like it's really tough to do it sometimes, but then you've got the people that can do it that just refuse to do it.
Right.
Refuse to just be gracious. It's kind of all about me and mine, and I don't want to give it up. And I think that the church kind of in general has leaned more that way than the gracious way. Right. Well, we need to take care of our house, and we need to make sure that this place is taken care of. We need to make sure our people's taken care of. And as opposed to looking for opportunities to be gracious and to be giving and to be loving, we kind of hoard stuff for down the line, maybe if we need it sometime, as opposed to knowing somebody that could use it or that needs it and saying, hey, we've got it. Let us be able to bless you. I think that people now, especially in a recession and the pandemic we just came out of, all these things, I think that people are almost scared because, what if this happens again? Like, we can't do that. We talked about how, I would have thought so many churches would have tried to reach out, during the pandemic and tried to bless people with maybe food or maybe, whatever it may be. Just say, hey, look, we've got some resources. Let's try to figure out a way to give out, as opposed to, I think a lot of times it was the opposite. It was, hey, we need to make sure we're taking care of ourselves. And I just don't think that's what God wants.
Well, I'm not going to call any church out on here, but, I know for a fact that there were churches during the COVID stuff going on that they were tripping over food.
Yeah.
And there were people doing without. And that's not okay. Jesus would not have done that.
Right.
That is not a giving church. That is not what we as Christians should be doing.
Yeah.
So that's just a mindset that we've got to get away from.
Yeah.
God's going to provide.
Yeah.
Says it in the Bible.
Right.
So we know it's true.
Yeah.
But so to hoard all this stuff, thinking, what if this happens again? It's okay if it happens again because God will bring us through it again.
Right. Yeah, and it's so backward, and I get it. Like I partly get it, and it's like, well, of course you want to take care of yours. You want to make sure you're okay because you're not. It's kind of that thing, if airplanes having turbulence, you put your seatbelt on before you help somebody else. So I get that,
right?
But like you said, it's like putting your trust in God. Mm-hmm. Like God has blessed us to be able to help somebody in need. Right. We need to help somebody in need.
Sure.
We need to be pouring out into others before we worry about ourselves. And I just think that a lot of places kind of get that backwards. And I think,
and like the other side of the coin there, I will call him out. Pastor Stephen Watkins down there at Clarkton.
He's awesome.
At Lynn Oak. We had that really bad cold snap and he opened his life center up and said, hey, if you need a warm place to go, come here.
Yeah.
They didn't have to do that.
Right.
They
awesome.
Yeah. They had to get people to come up there and sit all night to allow that to happen.
Yep.
He didn't have to do that.
Yep.
So just for them to think that way and to put themselves out there like that was amazing.
Yeah. It's kingdom minded.
Right.
As opposed to church minded.
Exactly.
And we need more like that.
Absolutely.
We really do. I think, and it's just second nature. All of us are like, all of us are like this. I've got shoes in my closet that I don't wear. I'm not giving them, we all have a certain point to where it's like we could all be doing more.
Oh yeah.
So it's not like, just calling people, you should be doing more. You should be doing more. Like we all should. And we all get to that point to where, but I'm probably going to need these. I'm probably going to need it. I'm probably, blah, blah, blah. But I just think kind of being aware of that and making sure that that's something that we're constantly thinking about. Like, is there a way I could bless somebody? Right. Is there a way I could help somebody in something that maybe I have an abundance of that so-and-so could probably use this?
Right. But do you think it's okay to put yourself in a bind to be generous?
No. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I think that's to that point to where, you're not helping anybody. If you're poking a hole in your boat to fill someone else's, it's like, I mean, now you're drowning. You know, I think there's a certain point to where,
That's a weird analogy. Why would you be poking a hole in anybody's boat?
or like, you know, like say, yeah, well, like say, John over here. I don't know why John, I don't know, has a hole in their boat. Well, now you cut your hole out to plug their hole in, but now yours is sinking. It's
okay, I see where you're going.
Yeah.
Now. It was a whole boat thing.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Two
Carry
boats.
on. It
Yeah.
distracted.
Yeah. Sorry. But yeah, then now you're not helping anybody. You're,
Right.
you know, you're creating one problem to fix another problem, you know? So I think there's definitely a line, and you do get a lot of people that they will take advantage of that.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they find out you're gracious. Well, now they're hanging around, and you know, we talk about not being what's the word? Yep. When you're part of the problem, you're
Yeah.
feeding into their problem.
Enabler. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to be an enabler, you know, to where now your gracious giving is allowing them to continue to not, you know, try to get themselves up. You know, there's a lot of people like that too. Like if you're going to give, they're going to keep
Right.
taking. There's no reason for
Right.
them to, you know, get up, and, you know, the Bible says you don't work, you don't eat. That's just kind of part of it. Like we need to, you know, be doing what we can, but you know, there's times where we all struggle and we all need a little bit of help. And if more of us Christians would act like it
Right.
and do what God called us to do, then the world would be a lot better. Which Christians are by far, I mean, I looked at the statistics. I mean, it's by far the most giving area of humanity, period,
Right.
ever.
Right.
Like it's not even close.
As it should be.
Yes, when
Yeah.
it comes to like charity and all, it's, I mean, it's not even close.
Right.
So, I mean, over any religion, I mean, it's just it's crazy, like the numbers, like it's you know, out of this world. But I also know that, you know, a lot of churches, a lot of denominations, a lot of this have a lot of resources
Right.
that they just kind of collect, you know, as opposed to, hey, let's help somebody, you know,
Right.
get on their feet, or, you know, stuff like that. So I think that it's something that needs talked about. It's something we really need to focus on.
Yeah, I think, you know, again, I'm not calling out any denomination or anything, but I know we looked it up one time, and
Yeah.
there was a certain denomination that had like $9 billion
Yeah.
or something in resources and funds.
Yeah.
And it's just like all that could do, you
Yeah.
know, and I always think if I won the lottery, what I think of is how I could help other people.
Right.
It might be different if I actually won the lottery. You know,
Right.
I might be like, oh, nope, it's all me, but I hope not.
Just disappear.
Yeah, just ghost everybody.
Right.
I'm going to Sitka, Alaska.
Right.
But that's what I think about when I think of winning the lottery is how many people I could help with that money.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with church. You know, when you think of all the funds and resources that are wasted and all the people that could be helped from that,
Yeah.
it's incredible what could be done in a community. Just Malden,
Yeah.
in a community this size, if all the churches would get together and pool their resources just to help the problems that we have around here,
Yeah.
it would change this entire area.
Yeah. So now what's the first step?
The first step would be somebody to reach out between those churches and
Yeah.
get that to actually happen.
I say just first step is in each one of us individually, you know,
Sure.
just, you know, every day being aware of that, and then making a conscious effort, you know, to be that. You know, we all start doing that. That's what will happen is, you know, the kind of a collective of a lot of people that come together and say, you know what, I'm going to intentionally just be gracious
Right.
and giving. We had the opportunity today to be able to give some something so small, you know, to be able to give some chairs to a neighbor church,
Right.
and just say, hey, we've got some that we're gonna come off of and be able to bless you. We know you need them.
Right.
We just want to be there for each other. That to be able to do that not only is a good thing, what we're called to do, but also it's something to where when you do it, it humbles you.
Right.
You're like, wow, like God entrusted me with this to be able to do that.
Right.
You know, so it's an awesome thing to even be in that position of overflow.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that if we want to live in that space of overflow, we have to be gracious. You know, God will pour into you for you to pour out into someone else.
That's the point. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that we have to live in that and walk in that and be aware, kind of take the blinders off and, you know,
And there's so many people that would say, well, you give to another church, they're going to get all your people.
Right.
All the people are going to go over there and not to your church. Well, that's not kingdom minded either.
Yep.
Doesn't matter who goes to what church as long as God is praised in the end.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. And I know it's almost, I don't know, just, I mean, humbling really is just kind of the only word you could think of. Like it really is. It's just so, it's like, wow, God, like to be able to be in a position to be used like that is just so cool.
Right.
And just to see that, when they came and I told them and just kind of them lighting up was really cool. And, to see. So,
and we talk about that all the time. We planted Remnant in June.
Yep.
I think is when we started. So, all the plans that we have, that all the things that we want to do and all the resources that we want to use, and we want to be a generous church.
Yeah.
And then not having those funds to make those plans happen right now, it's frustrating.
Yeah.
It's like we want to do all this stuff and we don't have the funds to do it, but we know that God will provide when it's time. When we need to do it.
Yep.
The funds will be there.
Yeah, just kind of in a preparation season, like prepare yourselves. The people are coming,
right?
To be able to do that and reach out, and we want to do food giveaways and stuff like clean up the city, like something so simple as just walking around with trash bags and just kind of cleaning up the city and giving back in that way.
Right.
Is something that really is our heartbeat at Remnant. Something that we really want to do, and things for the youth to be able to come after school and kind of just come and hang out and things like that is something that is giving back in ways that, people don't really think about.
Right.
It's like, oh, well, here's money. But, sometimes it's just time. Sometimes you don't have money. Sometimes all you have is time. Sometimes all you have is clothes. Sometimes all you have is food. Sometimes all you have is, is knowledge that you can pour into people,
Right.
Teaching youth how to change the oil or change a tire. That's giving back. Like that's being gracious with your time.
Right.
So, it's not always just money or monetary things, but sometimes it's, it's more than that, some
Absolutely.
love, some, knowledge or whatever it may be. So knowledge. English language is so weird. Oh man.
It is a little different.
I was watching something and they were talking about that. Just like why? Like why is there a K at the beginning? Just cause.
Because we just want to put
right.
one there. It just seems good.
It's so weird. Or G at the beginning of Nat. Like why? Because it's like I before E except after C and some other words also because why not?
Just because.
Yeah, and it's just
English.
So weird. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. I
They
don't
say
like
that
it.
English is the hardest language to learn. Like people that learn it from other countries, they say it's so hard to learn.
Yeah,
English.
stupid.
It's different. Yeah.
It's stupid with a T at the beginning. What? I don't know. Why not? Throw it on there. Stupid. Just stupid. I don't know.
Speaking of stupid, we're getting off track here.
That's so funny. But yeah, it's awesome though, man. I'm looking forward to that day where we talked about this before, just have a kid graduate from the youth, going to college, and us be able to say, hey,
right,
here's a $5,000 check from the church to be able to bless you and send you off to college, or here's a brand new computer that the church wants to give to you, and be able to do stuff like that and just catch people completely. I kind of think big. I kind of go in this kind of broad scope. I'm talking, pay off somebody's mortgage on their house and be able to surprise them on a random Sunday morning and be like, hey, we paid off your mortgage. Just, we love you and thank you. And we want to be a giving. And blow people's minds because God, it's like, well, this is who God is. This is what he wants us to do. He wants us to be able to bless you. So
absolutely,
man, look, it's going to happen. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man.
Dream big. God's
that's
big.
Right. That's right. We got a big God.
That's right.
What else you got on your heart?
I think that's going to do it for this one.
For this episode with a cue at the beginning.
Before you get going again, we thank you for joining us on this episode, guys. We hope it has blessed you. If you do not have a home church, Remnant is at 10 a.m. on Sunday mornings, and youth is at 4 p.m. We'd be absolutely thrilled to have you. If you need a ride, just find us on Facebook. We'll figure it out. God bless.
Or check us out, remnantmalden.com. We love you.